this might be a tough decision right now.
My
but
team
I'm
did
not just
absolutely
Some
garbage.
NFL games that were like,
Right.
whoa. I actually don't
Had
understand.
a lot of mixed feelings.
Welcome, Disgruntled. We have another guest here on the Legal Domains.
We just need our co-host. Where'd he go? Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I appeared. I'm
Oh,
here.
thank God.
Did you miss me?
No.
Oh, good. I didn't miss you. No.
Shit.
But today is a very exciting episode. Today is very exciting.
How exciting is it, Caleb?
Football week.
Wait, what do you mean it's football week?
The day that it's posted is the day that football season
Oh my god. So
is starting, baby.
So we're talking from the future, but to our audience, it's in the present. But
Yeah.
to us, it's in
It's
the
a-
future. But we're speaking about it as though it is the present.
Yeah.
That's confusing.
Yeah. So right now it's a day, but for you guys it's the same day, which is tomorrow morning.
Thursday night football. It's the Rams and the Bills. Everyone in Philly's excited. I only said that. I don't know if you guys could hear, but there was just a loud motorcycle going by. And I just assumed it was just because he was so excited, had to get home and make sure he had.
To tell his wife that football season is starting.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh fuck."
I don't know what channel Thursday night football's on anymore. I think
Fox. I don't know. I just said around.
I know Amazon has some of them. Do they have kickoff as well? That'd be crazy. Maybe it's NFL Network. I don't know.
I think it is Amazon because I remember they had like the Thursday night thing, I believe.
Yeah, but I don't think they have all of them. We are really good hosts. We know exactly when all of the games are and where they can be streamed.
Well, I mean,
Bills and Rams specifically, we already know this is on NBC and NFL Network. Obviously.
it's simple knowledge. Yo, side note, I like the little graphic that you made for the.
I didn't make that, but
Oh, you
that's
didn't?
all right.
I liked how you placed it in there.
No, yeah, I did place it. I just thought it would help our predictions. So, for those of you who weren't watching last episode, we have some predictions we have to make. We had made some predictions last week about who would win the awards, such as MVP. So, if you're interested in who our favorites are for that, and some of our sleeper picks are for those awards, such as Coach of the Year, go to last episode. But this week, we're going to be talking about some things I think are even more important than MVP, than the individual awards, because this is a team game.
Yes, sir. Team. If you don't have a guy playing well, then you ain't gonna win.
That's,
Like,
yep,
Your kicker messes up, you're done.
you're done.
You're done. If your long snapper misses the snap, boom, over the kicker's head.
Doesn't matter how
Touchdown.
many yards you throw for, because sometimes it comes down to fucking
If you can catch a
running
ball on the
back,
yeah.
trying to kneel at the one, but accidentally crossing the goal, and then the other team unthinkably just goes and gets their touchdown, and then it goes overtime, and then they win. You know?
Yeah.
Who was that last year? I forgot.
I forget.
Didn't that happen to it wasn't the Lions, was it?
I think it may have been the Lions. For some reason I associate that with the Lions. I don't know why.
It was very sad.
Yeah.
Needless to say.
No,
We're getting
yeah.
off topic.
It was with the Lions.
Um,
Sorry. Off topic.
I just thought that was a cool anecdote.
Yeah.
I hope you agreed.
Or you throw 500 plus yards in the Super Bowl and lose to a guy named Big Dick Nick and then drop a pass and that could have gotten at least 10 yards.
And then play against his team years later when they aren't even Super Bowl contenders and will just be forgotten, and then lose to him again, and then you run off to the locker room without giving him a handshake for the second time in a row.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Bears.
Yeah.
That was classic.
That was classic. Classic. All right, that was very off topic. Sorry.
We were just
You know,
rambling.
this podcast is literally just going on tangents every 2 seconds. But you know, I guess that's what a podcast is. It's just talking.
Yeah. And so we have actually a lot of predictions we have to get through today. In preparation for this first week of NFL football, we'll talk about individual matchups for week 1. We always do this, so we're starting. This is week 1 podcast, NFL football. Chapter.
future Caleb. This is chapter 1. Should I? I think I'm gonna even get more spicy and add each chapter for each game we talk about.
All right.
I don't.
It's a little spicy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe too spicy.
Too
but
spicy, too much.
I don't know how much in depth we'll be talking about each one, so maybe like too quick, but we'll see. That's for future us to decide.
Yeah.
This is week 1. We always go over week by week predictions. So week 1 we talk about who we think is going to win, and then the next week we discuss why we were wrong or why we were right and what unfolded, and then we also talk about the next week's games. That's how the format of this show will continue to be going forward. But to start, this episode is a little special since it's the kickoff. We have to go over our predictions all the way from like April or May about team by team records. All right?
Yes.
So a long time ago, we made those predictions, and now it's our last chance to adjust them before they actually play their first regular season matchup. I made some adjustments. Personally, I can go over them first if you'd like.
Yes, please.
So that graphic that Caleb mentioned, and he'll probably like throw up on the screen really quick, is the 2022 NFL strength of schedule based on the Vegas forecasted win totals. Because for some reason, Vegas is just so good at predicting things. That way they can capitalize off of really bad sports takes and bettors. So that's why we use that metric. I found something very interesting about this graphic, Caleb. First, before we go into these like predictions themselves, but look at the Colts and the Eagles and how easy your schedule is according to Vegas. We're both like up at the top with the Giants.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I was just about to mention that. But I knew the Eagles had a pretty easy schedule, but I didn't know how easy the Colts schedule was too. Because I think you may have mentioned it on the off passing, but I just didn't know that we both had like those easy of schedules, you know?
Yeah. I didn't even realize it was this easy. I would disagree with. I think I would disagree with how easy the Colts is compared to the Bills. I think we have like a very similar strength of schedule. I think the Bills actually have a really good path to number 1 seed, whereas Colts is not as clear cut. However, I still think Colts are definitely having like one of the better strength of schedules, like easier strength of schedules in the AFC, which is really important because it's the AFC right now, and the AFC is just stacked after what happened this offseason, all the different moves and all of that. So it's going to be really important for the Colts. I will now get into who I think I was wrong about a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When I was predicting back in April or May, whenever it was, someone go find that for us. Maybe future Caleb. I don't know. Maybe he'll find this particular instance where I said, I don't think the Chiefs will make the playoffs this year. That was my initial take. And then Caleb was like, nah, they always make it eventually. You know, they got off to a really rough start last year. They did. And you said they fought their way back and then got into the AFC Championship. I was like, yeah, you're right. I guess they did. Obviously, their division is a lot more stacked now. Notably, we got Devontae Adams in there, J.C. Jackson, Chandler Jones. Who else? Russell Wilson. How could I forget? So it's not the same story as last year, but I still think it's the same Chiefs. Even if Tyreek Hill leaves, I think that receiving room is still stacked. I think they upgraded their defense a little. And overall, I would even go as far to say that their rushing attack has been upgraded a little. I don't think they have like a permanent fix by any means, but I think there's enough like young guys in there that one of them is going to have a good year. Maybe it's not Clyde. Maybe it's this guy, Isaiah Pacheco, that everyone's talking about. I don't know. I just have a lot more confidence in them now after seeing their training camp, basically. And it's Mahomes. Mahomes doesn't need Tyreek Hill and Kelsey to look like Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? He still has Travis Kelsey, and he still has Juju Smith-Schuster, who has a strong upside. and McCole Hardman and all the other guys in that space, as well as a rookie. I forget exactly what his name is off the top of my head, but there's young talent in there that can obviously not going to put up Tyreek Hill numbers, but it'll allow them to spread the ball a little bit more, which might be even better for them in the long run. Anyways, all that aside, I know that's kind of a lot of rambling. I put them up a whole nother win. I had them at 9-8. Now they're at 10-7 for me, and I have them placing second in the division. They're 5th seed in the AFC over the Ravens and Chargers, which I haven't changed. They're both 10-7 on my list. Another big move in the division is that I actually brought the Broncos down a whole game. I had them at 12-5, just like the Bengals and the Colts as far as the division winners go. I still think they're going to win the division, but I just don't think it's going to be as strong. I think 12-5 is a little too gracious for how hard their schedule is, how hard their division is. I think that's obviously the toughest division, so I don't think, no matter who wins that division, I don't think it's going to be as good as 12-5. I think that's a little too gracious. So I had to bring him down a peg just to 11-6. Still a division winner, all of that. I'm still confident about the Broncos going forward. Just had to temper my expectations a little. Raiders, I also brought down a whole game.
Ooh.
But it's a far different story from the Broncos, because whereas the Broncos, they still managed to be in a similar position of just winning their division, I took the Raiders out of the playoffs.
Damn.
They were, they had the 6th or 5th seed in my original ranking, or my original predictions, but I put the Chiefs up there, and I was like, okay, well, who am I taking a game off of in order to put the Chiefs into the playoffs? And I looked at all my game by game predictions, and I was like, shit, I think I was a little too high on the Raiders. And that's where I consult the strength of schedule.
Yeah.
Are you trying to look for the Raiders?
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Ooh,
And then you go all the way down to the Chiefs. It's like,
oh, I was like, that's exactly what I did. I was like, damn, the Chiefs.
The difference between the Chiefs being there and the Raiders being there is last year, okay? Whereas they both made it to the playoffs last year, but the Raiders, I think, had an easier path. They didn't, obviously, what was going on in their organization was not easy, so they did overcome that. I'll give that to them. But I think there's a lot of things, like their win against the Colts. I think the Colts lost that game more than the Raiders won that game. I think there's just a lot of things going on with the Raiders that kind of just played out into this fairy tale ending for their season, where everything is going haywire, but they still managed to get it together to go to the playoffs. They made a lot of great moves, but I don't think as a team they are really well put together yet. I think they have a lot of great pieces individually, like Devontae Adams is great, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. Josh Jacobs I'm a little high on as well, maybe more so than others. And then even on the defensive line, you got Max Crosby and Chandler Jones now. Don't get me wrong, that is nothing to laugh about, and they are going to be a threat for sure. I have them just on the cusp of playoffs here. But there's too many good teams in the AFC right now. Someone is going to get unlucky and get cut. I think Raiders got too lucky last year, and they just won't have that same success this year, especially with a new coach coming in and probably going to mix things up a little. I just think someone's going to have to some really good team. I still think the Raiders are a really good team. I just think
I agree.
Repeat, basically.
Yeah.
The luck will not be in their favor. Maybe the year after, but this year I had to take someone out, and I can't take the Chargers out. They just due because they've been unlucky in not making their playoffs last year. So I think they're due. Ravens, I think, are due for a comeback year after a really unlucky year last year as well. Both of those teams kind of unlucky. I think Raiders just have to, what goes around comes around. So it's their turn to have that really disappointing miss of the playoffs. So I brought them down to seed 8 overall. Just over the Titans, who are also sharing that record of 10-7, and then over the Dolphins at 9-8. But then I had Browns at 9-8, but I brought them down a game to 8-9 because of the Watson suspension being longer than I think we originally anticipated then. A lot of people were saying it was only going to be 6 games. Now it's 11. So I was like, okay, I'll bring it down 1. I think they're still a really stacked team, no matter how you look at the quarterback situation. So I think they're going to get wins somewhere in that roster. I think they're gonna hustle, and I mean, I look at the Jacoby Brissett year with the Colts after Andrew Luck retired, and they managed to get off to a great start. Or maybe it wasn't a great start, but they had a great middle of the season. I forget exactly where it was, but they had a really great run somewhere in the season where they just kept winning. They beat the Chiefs notably that year in prime time. The Chiefs went on to win the Super Bowl. You know, I think Jacoby Brissett is a really great leader in that locker room, and as much as he's not like a premier quarterback and he's not going to put up amazing numbers, I think he's going to rally and at least get those 8 wins. And well, probably not a total of 8 wins, but then Deshaun Watson will come in towards the end and probably get a couple wins after that. You know, I think they're just bound for just like a very mediocre season. 8-9 is like the 8-8 of the 16 game format. So, you know, it's just like so close to having a winning season, but not quite.
I still hate that they changed it to a 17 game season. Fuck capitalism. 16 was so nice. So many good stats. But that was besides the point. I wanted to say, too, that I apologize for messing up the graph. I'm still learning how to do graphs, so I'm not the best at it. But I wanted to say something about. Oh wait, yeah, okay, I remember now. I wanted to say something about the Chargers too. I feel like out of all of the teams, they had such bad luck the past like few years. Like I just want them to get into the playoffs and actually go, because ever since like the Eagles won that Super Bowl year since 2017, I feel like they just had bad luck. They have teams around them that have so much potential, but they can't do anything with it. And they're like a way better team than they are. So I'm happy that you moved them up because they deserve to get into the playoffs.
The Chargers?
Yeah.
I mean, I always had them in the playoffs.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't one of the ones I changed. I just
okay.
I just took the Raiders out, put the Chiefs in, but the Chargers were always in the wild card spot.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I agree. Like, it was a discussion in my head. If the Chiefs are coming into the playoffs, do I move the Chargers out? And I said no. Basically, it's got to be another team. It's got to come out of another team. I like too much of what the Chargers are building. I love that coach actually a lot. My man Staley.
Yeah.
I've talked too much. It's your turn now.
It's my turn?
Yeah, and
I got the floor. All right, so I changed 3 total teams. I'll start with the Panthers, and I'll work my way up. So I added a game to the Panthers just because of Baker Mayfield. I mean, it's not too drastic, but I feel like Baker gives them at least one more win than Sam Darnold would, and or like any other QB. So I just gave them an extra win just because of Baker Mayfield, because I think he's a mediocre quarterback, and I think he's mediocre enough to at least get them one more win. For the Rams, I had them going -2 games just because of the strength of schedule.
Wow.
And I just think it's so hard to repeat in this league, because we haven't had a repeat since Patriots did it 17 years ago. I think it was like 04-05 or something crazy like that. So, and we just have a historical trend where we just see teams, even if they didn't win the Super Bowl, just at least get to the Super Bowl and then fall after that. Like the Eagles, after they won, they still managed to make it to the divisional, and they should have went to the championship. But other examples like the Falcons, like they made it after that 28-3 devastation game. They haven't been the same since then. And there's like the Seahawks, I guess, kind of after that second Super Bowl appearance. Broncos maybe. Maybe I know that those 2 teams had like a stretch where they went to 2 Super Bowls each in like a 5 year span. But I just feel like the Rams are still going to make it into the playoffs, but I just don't think that they're going to do it as much confidence. And I still think that they could make a pretty good run in the playoffs, maybe divisional or even championship again. I just don't think that they're going to do as good as they did last year in the regular season. And then I got the Eagles.
Where do you have the Eagles?
I got them in the second seed, 12-5. I originally had them 11-6 and in the third seed, but I think just seeing how easy our schedule is, because like I said before, I knew that the Eagles had a pretty easy schedule, but I just didn't know how easy they had it. And that was one of my main factors for why they went 11, why I had them going 11-6, just because of how easy they are and the pieces they added. So I just added a game. So I think that they are a 12-5 team, and my ceiling went up a lot. My ceiling, I think, was 13-4, I believe, but now my ceiling is
14-3.
14-3.
Wow.
Even 15-2.
Could you imagine?
Actually, I'm gonna change that to 15-2.
Oh my god.
My ceiling.
Stop. No.
15-2.
No.
Yeah.
I have to stop you right there. All right.
Come on,
I love
Eagle.
Sirianni. Zach Pascal's there now. He's one of my favorite just locker room guys from the Colts, at least. That 15-2. Come on. Let's shout out now, okay?
What do you mean? When was the last time I talked highly about the Eagles? I always talk shit about them.
Where would those two losses come from? One from the Cowboys and one where? Or
the
would
Packers.
The Packers?
Yeah.
I mean, who else? Is there anyone else you coming up on your schedule you're a little worried about? Do you play the Bucks again?
I don't know if we play the Bucks. Wait, hold on. Eagles schedule, because I know that we're going to split with the Cowboys, and we always have the worst of luck with.
Yeah, you have to split with the Cowboys. I feel like that's the guarantee.
We always have bad luck against Rodgers. Like, I don't remember the last time we beat Aaron Rodgers, if at all, in my time frame. But I guess the other team that I'm worried about is the Cardinals. So that's probably the third
only
game.
Other team?
The only other team.
The only other team?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, maybe the Vikings. I mean, last year, like, easy dubs is probably Colts.
Am I wrong, or do you play the Broncos this year? Or was that last year?
That was 2017. Wait, no. Yeah, that was last year. Yeah. So we don't play them again. With this new, like, +1 schedule, I'm always, like, confused because, like, I still think we rotate, like, divisions every 4 years. Like, you don't play the same division for, like, another 4 years once you play them
then
once.
you also get a +1.
Yeah, and I think that +1 is always a AFC team, so we may randomly, like, get a AFC team that we normally don't play. Wait, I'm trying to find it here.
You play against like a conference competitor that ranked, or I think had a similar standing to you last year.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we play the Steelers, and which is obviously not a part of the Colts like division.
Right, because you both were wild card teams last year.
Yeah. So that's our little. I'm happy that we're playing the Steelers.
Yeah, it was their mini way of like trying to even out schedule strength, but I don't think it's really that effective, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it was like kind of dumb.
I agree. I think we should just abolish the NFL. And
we should stop watching the NFL altogether. Stop supporting their game.
Yeah. Honestly, this is the end of the podcast as we know it. I'm deleting it.
All right. So that's our stuff.
Yeah.
Next, I mean, you're probably going to put that graphic up so you could see the full predictions now that we made those adjustments. Before we hop into the week 1 predictions, for those of you who weren't tuning in last year, I do a little special segment called the MVP Race, where I talk about my rankings of who is in the lead in the MVP race and all that. And I have initial ranking that I'm just going to speed run really quick. I don't want to like spend too much time on it because it's all just very theoretical and hypothetical, all that. No. And so I'm just going to go 1 through 10, and then I have some honorable mentions. So if you didn't tune in last week, I said my MVP pick was Josh Allen. I think easy schedule, really well set up team for him. Defense is also really nice, so he doesn't have to like try too hard. He won't have to throw for too much, but he'll be efficient still. That's an ugly color combination.
I love that color combination so much.
For those of you who don't know, Jalen Hurts was put at number 1 by Caleb, not by me. Josh Allen, he's my favorite. I think he's a lot of people's favorite right now. He's just been getting better and better, so there you go. I think last year he actually had a little bit of a rough start. A little bit. It wasn't like super apparent, but he wasn't like able to like make a claim for MVP because of it. So I think this year just get off to the right start, and I think he's got it, honestly. Patrick Mahomes, number 2. He's Patrick Mahomes, and I think him not having Tyreek Hill will only further make a case for him to be MVP. To be able to spread the ball around and distribute will be very huge for his campaign, and maybe also help get some running backs involved. I feel like that's something we don't really see a lot, is their running backs doing a lot of receiving work too much. If he can start doing that, I think he'll be high up there at least, and he's going to be contending for the playoffs. Obviously, that's going to be a major part of it. They're going to always get a winning record at least. Lamar Jackson is my number 3. I think he's going to have a comeback year. I think his team is a little healthier now. So I think they're just like ready to go. I think they're ready to get off to a really hot start and just fuck shit up. I think he's going to help elevate a lot of those younger wide receivers on his team. They're not great, but if he can be an efficient passer, that sells it for me, honestly. And he still got Mark Andrews. So Tom Brady is number 4. It's Tom Brady. Do I need to explain further?
Yeah, it's TB.
He's always going to be up there. They're always going to have him throw for a ridiculous amount of yards every season. So he's always going to be somewhere up there.
More like TP.
Nice. Aaron Rodgers is the reigning MVP back-to-back. Obviously, no Devontae Adams. He's going to also have to spread the ball around a little bit more. And I just don't think... I don't know. I think it's a similar situation with Patrick Mahomes, except it's going to be a lot tougher for Aaron Rodgers than I think it will be for Patrick Mahomes. I think they're going to want to run the ball a little bit more with Aaron Rodgers than I predict they are going to want to run it with Patrick Mahomes' offense. So I think Aaron Rodgers will have less to show overall. He's obviously still going to be efficient. The touchdown interception ratio is going to be really absurd always, but I don't think he's going to be able to put up numbers other than that to really make a claim. I think they're not going to go 13-4 again as they have been. I think it's going to be at least one win less than that, even though it's pretty easy schedule relatively. But yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to hit 500 touchdowns first or 1,000 interceptions? He's at 449 career touchdowns, and he's at 93 career interceptions. Do you think he's going to hit 500 touchdowns first or 100 interceptions first?
First he said 1,000 interceptions. I was like, yeah, probably the other one.
I'm at 100. Sorry. Might be 100 interceptions.
Let's see. What is that? It's 50-7. Yeah, I think he could do touchdowns first. It just depends on how good his receivers are this year, because sometimes it's the receiver's fault for interceptions. So his interception percent has been really low as of late. Oh wait, go up. I was looking at the wrong one. So yeah, let's look at his first MVP season, not the one last year, but the one before. It was 48 touchdowns, which that's around all he needs to get there. And then 5 interceptions, which is a little bit less than he needs. And then he only had 4 interceptions last year. So I think at this rate, if he can just throw for more touchdowns than he did last year, I think he could do it.
I also think he can do it too. I just saw that on a NFL page, and I thought it was a interesting question.
It is. Thanks for bringing it up, man.
You're welcome. No problem.
Justin Herbert is at number 6.
Why is that?
Well, he's due. No, I'm joking. I just think it's like the classic for these type of quarterbacks where like they get rookie of the year their first year, or like they're in conversation for it, They have a really strong first year, and then their second year, it's not as much as a slump. They just kind of go under the radar because they're not exactly improving as fast anymore.
I should have. Sorry, that was bad camera work and producing on my level. I should have reset it before you started talking about Herbert. That was my B, guys. That don't be too harsh on me.
I think this is just the third year jump, kind of. Like, we already had really high expectations of him before. This is the third year jump. Similar, I think it was Josh Allen. His third year was when he like really took off. Yeah. So that's where I have him. I think he's just like set up better overall. I think his team is going to be better. I'll just leave it at that. Russell Wilson. Wow. Number 7, I think he has a better team than he did last year, and that's about it. I don't think he deserves to be in the top 5 of the MVP conversation. He's never had an MVP vote. He always gets off to a strong start, it seems, but then tanks. I don't know what it is. I think he's just a really good team quarterback overall. In all of his seasons, he just does what he needs to do. Sometimes it's really flashy, sometimes it's not, but he's not the type of guy to get MVP, unfortunately. It's sad, I know. Don't blame me. Blame his coaches,
society.
maybe. I don't know who to blame, honestly. That's for you to decide, but it can't be me.
and the NFL to figure that out.
Yeah.
How's that coffee? Mean cup of Joe.
Great.
Nice.
Speaking of mean cups of Joe, number 8, I have Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
Joe Burrow is the homie, and that's why I have him. No, I'm joking.
I was like, wait a second.
No, he's just good. He has Jamar Chase. He has one of the best receiving rooms in the league. Joe Mixon is also really good, so he gets to balance it out. You know, the defense never gets to know what to expect with their offense because they can just do it all basically at this point. They just need to improve on the offensive line. I think they have since the Super Bowl. Yeah, I think he's in a good position. I can't put him in the top 5 yet. I'm not as big on the Joe Burrow hype as other people. I still think he's an elite quarterback in this league. He's very special. Will he ever win an MVP? I don't know. He may just be one of those guys like Phillip Rivers who always flashes variously through his career, but may just never have the chance to be known as the best quarterback in the league. And I think that's fine. I don't think that is a measure of being elite or not, is to get an MVP. I think we can call a lot of quarterbacks elite that have never won an MVP. I think that's fine.
Wilson.
Exactly. Number 9, another person who won't win MVP, Jalen Hurts.
This is a. I think he should be over at least Joe Burrow. Maybe.
I think he has a strong.
Yeah.
He's going to have a strong season. I don't know if it will be MVP caliber. I think they spread the ball too much. They run the ball too much with other people in there. It's not going to be very Jalen Hurts centric. You know what I mean? I think Nick Sirianni knows if he tries to do that, bad things are going to happen. Not that it's Jalen Hurts' fault. It's just not good for the team overall. Nick Sirianni is the type of guy who really wants everything to be very heavily distributed. That's what we've always seen with the Colts when he was our offensive coordinator. So I can't expect Jalen Hurts to become MVP because first of all, I don't think he's that type of player. I think he's a similar degree of like Russell Wilson type where he just like he does what the team needs to do, but he's not the type of guy to like produce a Lamar Jackson numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I actually really like this placing too because I was joking about Joe Burrow, but I think Joe Burrow obviously proved a lot more than Jalen Hurts. And out of the people that you have above him, there are obviously a lot more well proven than him, and Jalen Hurts just has a lot more to prove.
Absolutely. I think that is one of the things. He has a lot more to prove, and that's why everyone's saying like if the Eagles don't do your predicted 12-5 season, there's only going to be one answer as to why. I think everyone can agree on that, right?
Yeah, Nick Sirianni.
Okay.
By him.
Maybe there could be two. Maybe it could be Nick as well, but other than that, it's Jalen. I think that is pretty clear to me. But if they do, even if they do, I don't think it's necessarily guaranteed that Jalen Hurts will get MVP just because I don't know if it will be that type of season. I think he can have a lot of success for his team and be a big reason why they win. But I don't know if he's going to put up the numbers to compete with like what Aaron Rodgers has been doing or what Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson have done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Matthew Stafford, number 10. I don't think he's ever going to be the type of guy to put up MVP numbers either, but he was always like hovering in my top 5 at some point last season. Like he was always just there. And I always had to like come up with a reason why. I was like, I mean, his numbers here are good, but then you also look at that they lost all their games in November. So it was just like, I was like struggling to like keep up. Like, is he good? Is he not? What are the Rams? And then they end up winning the Super Bowl. So I'm like, okay, it could have just been some first year struggles. I think he deserves to stay in the top 10. I don't know if they're going to have the same repeated success or not, but he's always going to be an elite quarterback to me. So I think just being at number 10 is a perfect spot for him. And then my honorable mentions are Murray, Prescott, and Ryan. I think Kyler Murray is going to have a great year. I think Dak Prescott is going to have a great year. I think Matt Ryan's going to have a great year. But I think they will all either struggle or just default to their running games or whatever. I don't think it's going to be like super elite. And I think they're all very prone to inconsistency. It's kind of the same with Matthew Stafford last year, where like we'll be really high on them at one point and then they'll just tank and we never see them on this list again. We'll see. I don't think they'll be able to keep it up for a full season of like elite play to be able to be like top 5, for example. I think they're inconsistent overall until they prove me otherwise.
I agree.
Cool. I mean, Matt Ryan obviously is a former MVP. I think more so for him, it's not the inconsistency. It's just he's old and is playing with a running back who got an MVP vote. So I think it's hard for him to like put up the elite numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For some reason, I'm just so excited. Not for some reason, but for some reason, I just thought Matt Ryan was still on the Falcons. I just had a glitch moment there. And I was about to say, and the Falcons are just like really like trash of a team, so I don't see him like do that. But and then I'm just so excited for the football season that I thought today was also Thursday. So I'm just having a bunch of brain farts and glitches. But that's besides the point. When we have the 2021-2022 NFL predictions.
Oh, I messed up. Thanks for calling me out. I really, really appreciate it.
Was that like a fun call out?
Yeah, that was fun, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the 2022-23 NFL season, and we're going to get into our Week 1 predictions now. Now, I didn't exactly speed run through that MVP race, but I think we got all the points we needed out of the way.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't really have to, elaborate on any of those, I think, anymore. Obviously, we're going to keep up with that through the season, though. So
I think you should elaborate on why you think Jalen Hurts is not going to win MVP this year, and I think he's not your number 1.
A little thing called Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Also, Kenneth Gainwell is going to rush for 2,000.
Oh my gosh, imagine. I have him in my fantasy.
Yeah, actually,
yeah.
What the Why?
just in case.
Boston Scott's still on the team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
All right. Okay.
I got a little scared. I love Boston Scott.
We can't get rid of the Giant Killer. He's too good.
True. You always have to have him in the back pocket for the Giants.
Yes.
So yeah, first game, we've talked about it a lot. Rams Buffalo. Holy shit. What a matchup to start the season. I think all the previous ones have been interesting. Like we had Chiefs versus the Texans. Texans are not a good team. Sorry. But they had Deshaun Watson. And all right, let's try to get in the mindset of us liking Deshaun Watson, okay? We liked him back then. Or even if we didn't like him, we respected him because he was a good quarterback. And we knew nothing else about him. Back then, we were like, oh, look at Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. They're going to have a fun little rivalry in the AFC for decades to come. Nothing bad could happen from here. It was just a nice little matchup. We thought very highly of Clyde Edwards-Helaire in that matchup. It was a good first showing for the Chiefs, and we didn't think too poorly of the Texans at the time, and then they tanked.
I'm pretty sure that was like a good matchup as well.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I think it was good and interesting.
Yeah.
But it wasn't exactly like, oh my God, these are the Titans clashing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was the same with last year. We had the Buccaneers. Obviously, they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. And then you had the Cowboys. And Cowboys were good. Don't get me wrong. But I think the interest and appeal there was more from the fact that Dak Prescott was coming back. And everyone wanted to see Dak Prescott come back player and all that. That was the storyline there more so than anything. It was just another cool NFC matchup, right? A conference matchup, same way Texans and Chiefs were. But last year it was better because Cowboys actually ended pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
This year, it's different. It's actually like the two teams that I think could easily be the number 1 seeds at the end of the year. I think this is a Super Bowl preview. Like, we haven't been able to say that in a really long time about the opening kickoff.
I agree.
So who do you think's gonna win it though?
Buffalo. Just for the reasons why I explained for why I minus a game or minus 2 games for the Rams, I just think that they're still on that high of winning the Super Bowl. And I just think that they're not going to come full force. It's going to take them a little bit to get their momentum going. And I think it's also to add on to that, I think they're going to make a late playoff run. So I feel like they're going to lose a few games in the beginning, and people are going to be like questioning, wow, like what happened to the Rams? Are the Rams still Super Bowl contenders? And then they're going to flip a switch and go something crazy like 8-1 maybe.
Yeah.
But I just think they're going to get off to a slow start, so that's why I have Buffalo. I think Buffalo is going to start off really fast, so that's the reason why I have Buffalo and Josh Allen.
I think it's gonna be very close. I actually have the Rams.
Mm.
Now, I did say that I think Buffalo needed to get off to a quicker start, but no, I said Josh Allen, if he wants to be MVP, has to get off to a quicker start. And I think he will. I think he will ball out in this game. I just think the absence of their cornerback to start the season is really going to hit them hard, with the Rams being the passing attack that they are. Former Offensive Player of the Year and Super Bowl MVP coming in, Cooper Kupp. And then there's Allen Robinson, who has a really high upside. We don't really know what to think of him because he's been in Chicago, unfortunately. So we haven't been able to see him shine. But obviously we know what he could do. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of variables that could go against the Buffalo just to start this year. And this is just like one of their first tough matchups. And I think they're bound to lose one of their first tough matchups. And so I think this will be the one. I think I had them at 13-4. So for this one to be like one of their only like losses, I think it's fair because this is the reigning Super Bowl team with, I mean, you look at each positional group and it's like, there's not really a hole necessarily. Left tackle, maybe now that Whitworth is retired, maybe they still need to figure that out. But I think they're still going to be a really good team no matter what you say. I think they're going to finish higher than 10-7. And I think Buffalo is going to have to lose somewhere in their schedule and still finish number 1 seed. They're going to have to lose somewhere. I think this might as well be where they get their first loss. I don't think they're going to go off to like a crazy like 7-0 start, you know, like that huge streak that everyone cares about, like with the Steelers back 2 years ago. Yeah. And then they like fumbled it. I think Buffalo will be a bit different. Like they're going to get their occasional loss, but they won't go on any like huge streak. But overall, their season's going to be amazing. You know?
Yeah.
I think the consistency there is better. Like not the streak, not how you start, but how you finish. I think that's going to be the biggest takeaway for the Bills this season.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see this going either way. Like I feel like this is the best game by far this week, if not the entire year.
Oh, for sure. This is going to be amazing.
This reminds me of a couple of years ago with the Rams versus Chiefs when they had like 50 points each and they were just like gunslinging and back and forth. I'm not maybe not that high scoring, but I feel like it could also get a little out of hand, like both high scoring like that if some of their defenses don't hold up. But I feel like it's going to be really exciting to watch regardless of the score.
Then we get into Sunday. Our first Sunday of the season.
Ain't.
What?
Ain't.
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 Ain't. All right. We got a lot of matches that I think are interesting. Last year it was like really cool because I feel like every match last year, from that first week, like you couldn't be so sure who's going to win each one. Like they're really well. It was a really well scheduled first week. This season, I'm not so sure. I think it's like there's a lot of mismatches. Some good games, don't get me wrong, but a lot of mismatches. And yeah, we'll start with the Saints coming into Atlanta.
Got the Aints winning.
Yeah, I also do. I think the Falcons, very new team right now. The Saints also look a little interesting. I feel like it's a very similar situation as last year, except now they don't have their coach.
Or their top cornerback either.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, I guess they have a lot of holes, but I think Atlanta's are much more apparent. Matt Ryan isn't there anymore. Former MVP Matt Ryan isn't there anymore. You got Marcus Mariota instead.
And you got Ridley out, no receivers.
Oh, that's right. I'm high on Mariota. I actually am.
Mm.
But it's not going to be an immediate. It's not going to be instantly gratifying. It's going to be something that we kind of look back on. It's like, oh, okay, he actually didn't do as bad as we thought. That's my impression.
So I shouldn't put Drake London in at first. Should I wait a couple weeks then put Drake London in?
I'm never high on starting rookie wide receivers in fantasy week 1. I always think you have to at least wait till week 3.
That makes sense. Except for if it's Devontae Smith. Then he can get a 20-yard touchdown for you.
Was that week 1?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
shit,
against
I
the
forgot about
Falcons.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, there will always be exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
But...
He's the only exception.
Oh,
There's no other
for sure,
exception.
for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started off with a dispute, but now we start our Sunday with an agreement.
Oh,
Nice.
I like Jameis Winston too, because like that before Winston got hurt last year, the Saints got off to a really hot start. I think they went like 5-0 or 5-1 to begin the season with, and they have Michael Thomas now. That's not injured. Hopefully he stays throughout the entire season and they don't have any more disputes. Hopefully, due to some rearranging of that coaching staff, he doesn't have any disputes and he actually can maintain healthiness. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I have the Saints winning as well. I just wanted to blurt that out, but yeah.
Then we get the revenge match. Baker Mayfield. Oh shit! The Cleveland Browns are coming to Baker Mayfield, and I think he's gonna ball out personally.
Wait.
Whoever wins is not what I think it matters. I think as long as Baker himself proves himself, because let's be honest, Panthers defense. God, Matt Rule, as much as he's like a Temple guy, so I think it will be actually a close game overall because I think Jacoby Brissett is bound to like at least lead his team to a decent start, but it's gonna be close. But you have Carolina.
I had a brain fart. I wanted to pick Baker Mayfield, and for some reason I thought he was still in Cleveland.
Oh my gosh, Caleb, come on now.
I'm having so many brain farts today. I think I just need more sleep, honestly. But yeah, so I have the Panthers because fuck the Browns. I'm going to be picking opposite of the Browns. It's going to be Cowboys 1, as I'm never going to pick the Cowboys, and then Cleveland 2, where I'm never going to pick the Browns. I may occasionally pick the Browns once in a while, but they're on my hate list for obvious reasons. So I'm not going to pick them for that. And I think Baker Mayfield is going to show them that he deserved to be on that team and that the Browns mistreated him. And that being said, this is going to be his only good game of the year.
Yeah, probably. Let's admit it. Yeah. And then they don't even have a rookie quarterback to come in and take over.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, do they? Oh, I guess they have Matt Corral.
Yeah.
Okay,
Corral.
so maybe he'll do something with Christian McCaffrey by his side. Who knows?
Very open-ended.
Yeah, I think anything could happen with the Carolina. I think they could be the worst team in the league, or they could actually manage to make wild card. Am I going too far?
I could see that.
I think they can pull off some miracle, maybe.
I think that's a by far
NFC,
stretch.
And the NFC being not as dominant as it used to be.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a stretch, but I can see it happening for the same exact reason that you just said for it being NFC still. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Good analysis. Right there.
All right. Ooh, a battle of Justin Fields versus Trey Lance. Justin Fields reportedly not happy that the 49ers passed on him in the draft. So this is also kind of a revenge match, maybe. Not so much for Trey Lance. He's probably happy to get his first start. But he still has a chip on his shoulder because he has to prove to the 49ers not to bench him for Jimmy Graham. Jimmy is still there.
Yes.
Which we've heard various reports of how he actually feels. Some say, well, he himself has said, I like it. And then other people have anonymously reported he actually doesn't. So who's to say? I think regardless, he's going to want to try and do his best in this first start for the season that he's like starting the first game in. He obviously had a game last year, but I think this is going to be important to start off the season strong. But same with Justin Fields on a very rough team. now coached by a former coordinator of the Colts. I want to see that both teams, both young quarterbacks do well, actually. But only one can win. Who do you got?
Wait, who's the Bears coach again?
Oh, it's Matt Eberflus.
Oh, yeah.
Coordinator.
Yeah, I do remember that. Okay. But I got the Niners just because the Bears are a dumpster fire right now. Their only bright spot is Justin Fields and Montgomery. Mac's not even on that team anymore, is he?
Khalil?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, like, they just traded away their superstar this offseason. And it's just, I don't know. I have San Francisco going 13-4 this year and number 1 seed. So I think they're going to get off to a hot start. And their 4 games that they lose is going to be coming towards like throwaway games towards the end of the season. And meaning like maybe they get like 1 or 2 losses like midseason that are actually like good losses, not like good losses, but like normal losses. But I think that the last couple ones are just because they're going to be not tanking, but like resting their players and not going full force. I just think that defense that they have is way too scary. And I think Trey Lance, if he just bees like 5% better than Garoppolo, then it's a Super Bowl bound. Because like they got to the Super Bowl and NFC Championship the year after with Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's an average quarterback. Maybe I'll make the case like
it wasn't a year after. It was a couple of years after.
Or it was. My perception of time is very off.
Wait, were they back-to-back NFC Championship? No. They had a really bad year in between that.
Oh.
They had a lot of injuries.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. So it was the 49ers Chiefs Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then it was the Bucks that won against
the Chiefs.
And
then what was
the Bucks didn't go through the 49ers that year.
And then what was the Super Bowl after that?
The Super Bowl after that was the fuck, why am
I'm blanking. Rams?
Yeah. It's been that 3.
Wait. Oh.
Chiefs won, Bucks
won. Okay, yeah. For some reason, okay. I'm having too many brain farts. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Rookie work.
Rookie work. I was just because I got mixed up with just the Chiefs going back to back. But yeah, I just think that since if you have like, I'll even make I'll even hear out the argument that Garoppolo may be slightly above average, but he's an average QB nonetheless. And I think Trey Lance just has to be, like I said, 5% better than Garoppolo, and they can easily make it to the Super Bowl, and if not, win it.
Nice. So,
that took too long. I apologize.
No, that's fine. I also have the 49ers. I have different expectations for the 49ers. I think I envision them more as a wild card team.
Yeah.
That's how I envision them. And yeah, I think the Bears are not going to do well. I think that's fair. Especially not to start. Yeah, I don't know how well Trey Lance himself is going to do, but the 49ers are a well-built team while Chicago's not. And I think that's all it is. I got 49ers there. Next, we have Cincinnati-Pittsburgh. A really cool divisional match to start their seasons. One is starting Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, that news was just released. Yeah.
And then the other has Joe Burrow and one of the greatest wide receiver cores in the league. So who do you got?
For some reason, I had Pittsburgh as an underdog because like usually I like to pick an underdog or at least a couple underdogs per like week, and I just quickly changed it because this is not the underdog to pick. Like this is not the underdog. After further analysis, this is absolutely not the underdog story that we want or need.
What do you mean? The Nickelodeon most valuable player is here to stay, bro.
Bro, did they only do that for 1 year? Like, did they?
He'll go down as the only MVP.
Honestly, that's an accomplishment inside of itself.
Actually, last year they did like a week by week thing. I don't know, but I don't think it was in the same like. I don't think it was the same like thing. Like they actually covered a game.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Fuck Nickelodeon for that, and fuck the NFL for that. Wait, okay. Go back like 12 years from now, or go in the past 12 years, or like whenever you watch Nickelodeon. Would you see that, like, if Mitch Trubisky, like, won the MVP, like, you saw that Nickelodeon was associated with the NFL, and you were as big of an NFL fan as you are now? what would you think? Do you think if that question makes sense?
Yeah, wait, rephrase.
Okay, so like, let's say that you're 10 and like you're a big fan of Nickelodeon. Like, through the lens of a 10-year-old's eye, how would you view Nickelodeon, like that Nickelodeon game, Mitch Trubisky, like that collaboration between Nickelodeon?
I mean,
and
that game was just bad. So I think overall Nickelodeon and NFL, I think it could work. I don't think it's like terrible, but that specific game was so bad. I think it's hard to imagine kids enjoying that shit.
Yeah, that is true. Cause like I was thinking about that. Like, imagine like, would I have enjoyed that kind of content when I was 10 and a big fan of Nickelodeon and NFL? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. But yeah. But okay. What were you
There's
researching?
actually there was a week by week MVP winner during the 2021 NFL season. Jonathan Taylor being one of them because he's the GOAT. But Josh Allen was a couple of times. Jamar Chase a couple of times.
Mike White, week 8 Jets.
So yeah, there was a week by week one, but there was a playoff MVP of just one specific game. So
I was going to say, could you send me that so I could put it at the end? But
you
I'll
can
find
search
it.
it up.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Yeah, I also have Cincinnati. It's not gonna have any bullshit there. It's Bengals are good. I don't know if they'll be as good as last year. Maybe. I think you could make an argument that they're not gonna be Super Bowl bound again. At least for a while. I think you can make that argument. I think it's fair, but they're definitely good enough to beat Pittsburgh here.
I agree. I'm gonna reset the camera.
Get it. Oh, and the battery. Oh shit. Damn, you had that ready.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Holy shit. That was smooth.
We got Philadelphia and the Lions, and I'm not going to be doing previews and post game reviews and or recaps.
Just reactions, right?
Yeah, just reactions this year. I know I only did it for like half the season last year, which I regret because when I do that, I would like to do it like throughout the eternity. But I feel like I put enough like predictions at least for on the podcast, and then I do enough of a recap throughout the reactions to have it like as a recap. I usually have like a 10-second of like, oh my god, like the Eagles did so shit or the Eagles like did so good, and you get like the gist of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to put more of a review or more of a preview within the podcast, but still keep it short because like I don't want these podcasts to be super long because I know I could rant about the Eagles all day long and it's already enough of a rant. Tytoos is like, get me the fuck out of here.
No, I mean, I think that was an important disgruntled update for all your fans.
Thank you.
And I also agree, like, I'm trying not to do the Colts as much as well. You tried to get me into it, like, a couple weeks ago. It was last week, and I was like, no. I'll go on too long. So, yeah. We actually have back-to-back matchups of our teams, so let's try to keep it together.
Under 15 minutes.
The Lions. What do you think of the Lions?
Okay, so this is a trap game for the Eagles. This is definitely a trap game for the Eagles, and this is going to set the precedent for the rest of the season for the Eagles. If the Eagles dominate them, then as they should dominate them, I think we can settle some nerves of, Eagles fans just starting out the season. All these new pieces, all this hype, we can at least settle some nerves. I know Eagle fans, how you interact, it's not going to diminish at all any nerves. I know, especially I know how Eagle fans are, that even if we do blow them out, we're still going to be highly critical. Something's going to go wrong, but it's going to somewhat calm nerves if we blow them out. But if it's close, I know if the Lions win, then I feel like it's going to be a very, very, very rough season for the Eagles because, like, we basically win every category against the Lions. I mean, not to get me wrong, Lions have some pretty good pieces. Like, their wide receiver core is building up. Jared Goff is almost average quarterback. And, they have Swift. I mean, it's just
Hutchinson, their first-round draft pick, Hutchinson.
I don't know. I just think the Lions are a new team, but with worse pieces than the Eagles. Eagles are a new team, but I feel like they're more well-rounded, and I think the Eagles should dominate this game. And if they don't, then it's going to be very worrisome. And I have the Eagles winning, obviously. I think it's going to be a 35-10 score.
Gotcha. I actually think this will be a close game. I think Detroit is better than a lot of people imagine. A lot of my Detroit family were saying that last year. I was like, no, they're going to do garbage. And they did. But they surprised me in how close every game was. So I was like, okay, if they are like right there, all they need to do is figure out how to close them. And then their record switches from like they'll get like 5+ more wins just off of that alone. So I think this could be a game that Detroit could win. But I will still take the Eagles here. Just because that's a smart prediction. They are obviously favored. I'm not going to lie to you. I just think it's a trap game. Absolutely. Detroit is going to get wins elsewhere. I don't think this will be like the worst thing in the world for the Detroit, but it will be the worst thing in the world for the Eagles. And I think that's how it's going to be approached. Obviously, both coaches are going to treat each game very intensely, and MCDC a lot more probably, just because he wants to start off right after how disappointing last year was as far as how unlucky they got. I mean, they had a fucking world record kick against them. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, they just need, I feel like they're due, but it may not be here, but somewhere in this first half of the season, they might even have, like, to end the first half of the season, they might even have a winning record. Who knows?
Well, I could see that.
But I'll take Eagles here. Next, I'm going to be very short.
I just want to state really, really fast. I'm so sorry, but the Eagles blew out the Lions the most last year. I'm just saying we beat the Lions 44-6.
Absolutely.
I just think that's the reason why too. I just wanted to get that little jab against the Lions.
For sure.
But okay, sorry. Go off, King.
The Colts haven't won a home opener. No, not a home opener. A season opener since 2013 or 2014. Either way, bad. This is the year. We finally win it. I can confidently say that we are going to win it no matter what. However, I do not think it'll be pretty. I think we are going to have a lot of fuck-ups to start the season, but I want them to get out of the way. Like that's what I want. I want to clear it. I want them to go into the practice afterwards mad as fuck. That way, when we go to Jacksonville, we make quick work out of them. All right? It's going to be snappy. It's going to be clean. Got to get the fuck-ups out of the way in Houston. I don't think Houston, even at our worst, is a team that can beat us. That's why I say that. I think Houston's going to be bad. And we're always really good against Houston anyways. So.
Ooh, this is really interesting. Back to back. Prove it for the Colts, because the Colts haven't beaten the Jaguars at Jaguars home place in a while too. And that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And then week 3 is the Chiefs. At home. That's our home opener, is the Chiefs. And then we have Titans. Week 4. So 3 of our division rivals, all 3 in the first 4 weeks, and then the Chiefs, which is an AFC contender that we have to compete with. We are going to know how good we are in these first 4 weeks. We are going to know. Last year, we got off to a really rough start, but it was against 2 NFC teams. So we had some forgiveness there. I was like, okay, this is not going to matter so much in the playoff race for us. We cannot fuck up here. So I think get the win against Houston, get all the fuck ups out of the way, and then have a clean ride. I'm fine if we end these first 4 weeks 2-2. Honestly, I think that's fine. But I think I predict we'll go 3-1.
I agree. Losing to the Chiefs?
I have us losing at Jacksonville just because meme. And then I don't know if it's the Chiefs or the first Titans game that I said we would lose, but we're going to split with the Titans no matter what. That's what matters.
Yeah. Well, that was efficient. I think we did a pretty efficient job with the Eagles and the Colts. That was pretty fluent. But we got Miami Dolphins and New England Patriots. I got
rivalry here.
I got Miami winning. Wait.
Yeah, I also do. I think Patriots are good, but I think Miami just a lot of new things, a lot of fresh things. Bill Belichick always has done a good job against Miami. However, this is a completely different team, like not the same as they're used to playing. So they just might get a surprise on them. I think Tua's gonna have a lot of fun with Tyreek and all that.
And the Patriots are at the Dolphins, and the Patriots.
You have
All
to search that up. It's there. Away team, home team.
oh, it's so dope. Patriots always have the worst of luck against the Miami Dolphins when the Dolphins are at home. Even with Tom Brady and everything. So that's the reason why I picked Miami too.
Nice.
And Tyreek. It's gonna be a fun bunch.
No, yeah, I think even more than Tyreek, like everything they've been building there and their new coach is just, it's really exciting. I don't think they're going to be like, I don't even think I had them in playoffs this year. A lot of people do, but I don't.
And fuck Mac Jones.
Yeah, that too.
And Bill Belichick,
Moving
old
forward,
ass, should be in a
we got the
retirement home.
Jets and the Ravens. Jets, notably,
I got the Jets.
Zach Wilson. Ravens, notably, Lamar Jackson. These two quarterbacks are not the same.
Yeah,
that's
Zach.
all I'll say. I have the Ravens.
I got the Ravens too. Yeah, Zach Wilson is just in a different league on his own. Like he's just so much better than Lamar Jackson. Wait, is Zach Wilson even going to play week 1?
Oh wait, I don't know if that's confirmed.
Because I know that
Yeah,
that injury
the Eagles fucked
yeah.
him over.
Good. Fuck
Joe
Zach.
Flacco is the start for his reason. Okay, so yeah, Ravens. Wait, Joe Flacco is to start against the Ravens.
Ooh.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting. I still have the Ravens, but
Fuck you, Zach Wilson. No, I'm just joking.
no, it's more so Joe Flacco's return, not the fuck you to Zach Wilson.
I just wanted to say fuck you, Zach
Damn,
Wilson.
like, so out of pocket. Damn, after the Eagles injured him too.
Exactly.
That's fucked up.
The exact
What the
same.
hell?
Look, it's only like a couple week injury. I obviously wouldn't. I don't like support people like getting injuries and stuff. Like I don't want people
I
to
don't
get.
support people getting injuries.
Yeah.
That's fucked up that you got injury.
like I don't want people to get injured, but if you are gonna get injured, couple weeks max. I don't want it to be a season opener because that's fucked up. But if it's like a little like bruise elbow or something, or a little bit of bruise like ankle, sit you down for a couple weeks. That's the Eagles way, baby.
I do not condone everything he's saying, all right? Any qualms you have directed to him, as far as I go, I don't agree in the slightest. If your injury is bad enough to miss a game, that's bad.
Not even.
Just like that's the line for me. It's very clear, very cut. And even more than that, like even when Wentz fucking twisted both of his ankles or whatever, broke both of his ankles on one play, it's just like even then he didn't miss a game, but damn, I felt bad.
How do you sprain both of your ankles on one play and then continue to play? How do you sprain both ankles
One
on one
answer,
play?
Aaron Donald.
Oh, okay, that makes
Next
sense.
game, Jacksonville versus Washington. Notably, Wentz is playing the Jaguars back to back. Basically, obviously, a large gap in between. Then he is now on a different team. But still, his last memory of playing NFL football in the regular season is against Jaguars, and now that's where he starts, just on different turf. So
That's why I have Washington losing. And
you have Jacksonville?
I got Jacksonville winning.
Wow, we had a really long streak of agreements, but I actually have Wentz having his only good game here. I think he's due. I think
1-16 from here.
because think about it,
Or 0-16.
Wentz's failures was doing all this superhero ball shit that we hate that he does.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Holds the ball too long, tries to extend plays in the weirdest of ways. And the thing about it is like he's talented and it can work. It's just super not consistent.
Yeah.
And no one wants to take a chance on that except apparently Washington.
They're a dumpster fire of an organization.
But if we look at it as inconsistency, we have to take that as like, yes, it has its lows, but it also has its highs. We know what Wentz can do with the ball. So I think if you look at it like that as an even trade-off, yes, he lost really badly to the Jaguars then. I think he's going to win this one. You know, that's the trade-off in his inconsistency. I think he'll look really good and everyone's going to be like, oh, Colts are stupid. And then the season's going to continue and you're like, oh, shit. So that's
The Colts were right.
Yeah.
Imagine if the Colts also lose too. You know how dumpster.
Oh, dude.
That would be such a
Twitter's
dump.
I'll have to like not log on to Twitter for that week.
Yeah.
Simply.
Are you still going to get your Colt 45s at the end of each?
I didn't even do that last year, honestly, but maybe I'll continue. I'll start it again.
Maybe I'll start it with you. Maybe I'll. I'll just get a Philly brand.
Yeah, there's a lot of Philly brands here
Yeah.
in Philly.
Yeah.
Next game, we're now into the late afternoon slot. The Giants versus the Titans. Titans now are without Harold Landry, which is a big loss for them. They also don't have AJ Brown anymore, of course. There's a lot going bad for Titans and a lot of things going better for the Giants. New coach that won't just tank deliberately and very obviously mid-game.
What do you mean? That was a joke. That was a joke.
Daniel Jones may not be amazing, but I think their pieces are better organizationally and roster-wise. But I still have Titans here because I still think Titans are a good team, no matter what.
Yeah, especially against the Giants too. And when I heard the news that Daniel Jones was staying on the Giants, that was one of the happiest days of the year for me.
Eagles rejoicing.
Yes, all Eagle fans across the nation were jumping
and
up.
coming back to the division. It's
Yes,
just like,
yes. Thank the Lord. Too many pieces are coming together for the Eagles.
honestly, you're right.
There has to be a Super Bowl win. It's either a Super Bowl win or an absolute bust.
Or
But
sell the team.
yeah, yeah, like fuck the Eagles. It's probably going to end up being fuck the Eagles, and they're going to probably be like 4-13 or some shit. But like,
Look at us ranting about the Eagles when we're not even talking about an Eagles matchup. It's happening already.
It's
All right.
happening. All right, okay. I got the Titans.
Yeah.
Same reasons. Fuck the Giants and Titans. Even though they degressed a little bit, and Giants regress.
No, regress is backwards.
Yeah. What's the
Progress. We're learning here on the wing.
Progressed. Titans are still a way better team than the Giants. That's why I got Tennessee, baby. Arizona first. Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you got?
I do have the Cardinals. As you do as well. Now that we say that though, now that we both have the Cardinals, I just know Chiefs are gonna win.
Yeah.
I think Chiefs are really good, obviously, and Cardinals are without DeAndre Hopkins for the first 6. I just think, I don't know. I think it might just be another like rough start for the Chiefs again. I think it's just going to be one of those things where just like a lot of different things are going on in that organization for the Chiefs that they're trying to work around. A lot of young people now taking bigger roles. I think that first week might be a little messy. I think it'll be close either way.
I agree. I feel like the Chiefs are going to win now. But yeah.
Want to change? It's not too late.
Nah. I'm gonna keep with the Cardinals because like this was one of my little upsets. I know it's not like too much of an upset, but I still think it's a little bit of an upset. So I like how the Cardinals are shifting, and I like how Kyler Murray is moving. So I'm gonna stick with the Cardinals. But
All right. Next we got Raiders and the Chargers. A great divisional matchup that I think is, I mean, Chiefs. I will say Chiefs Cardinals is a good matchup, but in this particular time slot, I think the Raiders Chargers is going to be cooler because it's a divisional matchup as well, and two teams that are battling for, honestly, like AFC, like a championship appearance, like in the least. I'm really excited for this matchup to see how Herbert does, to see the Carr Adams connection, to see that newly refurbished defensive line as well now that Chandler Jones is there and Ngakoue is out. I think there's going to be a lot of cool things going on there. I'm excited.
I agree. I got Chargers winning.
Me too.
Just because it's a revenge game too for last year. And yeah, I just like how the Chargers are moving.
Yeah, I have Chargers in the playoffs, Raiders not, and I think it'll just be one of those things where you look back on the season as a whole, like Raiders going to think, how did we get here? And it's like, shit, that season opener, it got away from us.
Dang.
That was an important game. So I think it'll be huge. Huge.
Huge.
Also, this is a opening where they left off. It was Chargers Raiders that got the Raiders into the playoffs in the first place last year in a crazy overtime fashion. So,
and I think Justin Herbert's going to get off to a really, really fast start, and I think he's going to just start that MVP campaign as well. Start the season.
Next, we have another divisional matchup that I also think is tricky and maybe a trap game for the Packers, as good as the Packers are, is the newly refurbished organization of the Vikings. New GM, new coach, but basically the same roster, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think the Vikings I think they're going to improve on last year. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs or not, but I think they'll improve at least.
I agree. This was one of the harder games to predict just because of that rivalry and just because of where each team is at. I mean, Green Bay lost a couple pieces too. And like you said, the Vikings didn't really change from last year. That all too much, like not too many drastic changes. I know. They had a couple pieces moving around, I think. But like
Kirk is still there.
And I just think, yeah, I mean, if a few plays goes the Vikings' way, then I think they can win.
Yeah, but I still have Packers.
I do too.
I mean, now I'm thinking about it, I don't know so much. Like, this is very tricky. Like,
Yeah.
I was like very not sure about picking the Packers, but I'm just like, man.
That's why
I think Vikings will be good, but maybe not so soon. I don't think it'll be so immediate. So that's where
that's why this was one of the harder ones for me. But you got the first Sunday night game of the year?
Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football, baby.
Also, they started their season against each other last year, so it's the rematch.
I got Buccaneers because fuck the Cowboys. I wrote that in the little description.
I have the Cowboys.
I don't like you.
The Cowboys lost last year, and it was actually a very close game. Tom Brady was gone most of training camp, so I think it's fair to say he'll have a rough start because I don't think one of Chris Godwin or Mike Evans isn't playing. Hold on. Ross, depth chart.
Is this the game?
Buccaneers.
Let's see if he's wrong or not. He's wrong.
Okay, Mike Evans is playing. Chris Godwin is questionable. Russell Gage, another new piece for them, is questionable. So Julio Jones or Scotty Miller might have to step up there. I don't know what their plan is there. Yeah, it looks like they're facing a lot of questionable injuries. So even if they all play, they might not be full. Exactly what you want to see from them.
This is a weird year. This is just a weird year just because of I saw this on fantasy that there's just like a lot of star players that are like questionable entering like the start of the season. I don't know if that's like on purpose or if like
on purpose
to like scare teams like, oh, this guy is like not 100%.
Yeah, they purposely have a questionable injury.
Or yeah.
I thought that's what you meant. Like they purposely ended last year with a terrible injury. So
oh no.
This year.
Imagine. But or like maybe it's just like the training camp and they just got in like a little bit beat up like preseason, just like first time like with pads on and stuff.
I think last year there was just like a lot of like season ending injuries, but at the very end of the season, so it just affected their playoff run basically. And that's kind of all it is.
Yeah.
Or like for example in the Super Bowl, Odell, he's not even on a team right now. He jokingly said like good luck to both the Bills and Rams because the joke was that he's been getting heavily recruited by both teams. So,
yeah.
Monday Night Football.
And a side note too, I just love how, I know we said this in the past a lot of times and it's been like one of the constant jokes, but I just love how TB is like the acronym for Tampa Bay and like they have Tom Brady, TB. So it's basically just Tom Brady versus every single team. But yeah. So Denver, first Monday night game, Denver versus the Seahawks. I got Denver winning.
Wilson is coming home.
Yes, sir. This is another exciting matchup. Even though the Seahawks aren't, this may be a blowout on Broncos' part. Who knows? Just because of how dilapidated the Seahawks are. But this is an interesting game nonetheless. And we've been getting a lot of rivalries this weekend. I feel like it's just rivalry weekend with just players.
Scheduling it this way, like even with the suspension for Deshaun Watson, he's opening up against who? Houston. So it's just like they're little fucks in the scheduling office. I don't know who specifically does that, what the department is for the scheduling, but regardless, they're little fucks, and it's going to create some very interesting football, but at the same time, it's a little scummy.
I agree.
In some ways, like you're just forcing this drama between like players who left their teams it can be good, it can be bad. I don't know. It's not for me to say necessarily. I'm not a player myself, so whatever.
Yeah, I think it's just part of the NFL narrative. Like I feel like it kind of reinforces the NFL scripted a little bit. But I don't know. I just feel like the NFL is just trying to get every bit of dime or every bit of like viewership as possible.
It's a money grab, all of it.
Fuck capitalism.
And
fuck
I
NFL.
buy into it. I literally am hosting at this current moment a podcast about it. So who am I to like really judge? Like I'm obviously a pawn in their scheme.
I am also a pawn. Like we're talking about it for a reason. Like yeah. But yeah, that's it for this podcast. Can we just skim the top 100 because we said it last? It's just like
the only thing I'm gonna say about that is that Shaquille Darius Leonard made top 20 while he wasn't even playing his like full effort. Defensive Player of the Year season incoming. Just saying, if he starts first game, especially.
Wait, why?
Player of the Year season.
Why wasn't he playing 100%?
Injury. He has.
Oh yeah,
he's
yeah.
been struggling with the same injury for like the past 2-3 years because they haven't been able to figure out why he's been so sore or like hurt in his like leg. I don't know specifically where, but in his leg. And then they found out nerve in the back. Got that surgery in May or April.
Oh yeah.
All that. We talked about that a little last week. And so he wasn't playing coverage as well last year, but he was getting all the forced fumbles.
Yeah.
Like if they were there, he was going to make sure he made an impression because he couldn't do too much else. And so he was top 20.
That makes sense.
Not playing 100%.
Yeah.
And then we have Jonathan Taylor. What was he at? 5? That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. He should not have been 5. He should have been higher.
Yeah, and I don't have anything to say. I'm going to dive more deep into like the analysis of the Eagles players that were in the top 100, but all I gotta say is like I'll just like quickly list like the Eagles that made it. Like AJ Brown, he wasn't an Eagle last year, but he made 94. Lane Johnson made 90. Darius Slay made 85. I'm still Forrest Buckner, your boy, made 81.
Don't claim him as an Eagle.
No, I said your boy.
Yeah, but
DeForest
I'm gonna go through the Eagles.
Yeah, I know, but
You're not allowed to talk about my Colts.
All right, so fuck the Colts. I don't care anyway. Good thing I don't have to talk about that. Jordan Mailata, 75. Keep scrolling up here. There's so many players here. Wow, it's like it's like a list of.
That's it. Oh no, you have Jason Kelce somewhere.
Yeah, Jason Kelce somewhere. Where is Jason Kelce?
Did you say Slay already?
Yeah, I said Slay.
Okay,
Where the fuck is Kelce? Kelce's not this high. I think I passed
Command
Kelce.
F.
Command F. Darius Leonard is 40.
Wait, what?
Wait, is
He's
this?
top 20. Is this the last year?
Yo, it says 2022. Oh, fuck. What the fuck? Yo, this said 2022. Yo. Fuck this.
Because it's a... Wait.
It says top. I just didn't read the Aaron Donald part, but why does it say 20? Yo, why does it say 2022?
Maybe this is just their personal ranking.
I'm so
I think this is just their personal ranking.
But it says September 2nd.
Yeah, this is just his personal ranking, bro.
Yo, that's rigged. I thought it was just a list of the top 20.
Go to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia?
Yeah, search Wikipedia after.
Dude, that's fucked. I just literally saw 2022 and thought it was the list. Okay, is this actually the list? I have to double check now. Tom Brady 2. Yeah, okay.
Tom Brady was 1, yeah.
Okay, let me fucking redo this fucking shit. Fuck this BS. Fuck. All right, that a lot of that was my fault, but you couldn't blame me too much there. It said 2022.
No, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Until I saw Leonard at 40.
I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, Jordan Mailata made the fucking list. I didn't even know that. But Darius Slay's actually 77.
You could just command F Eagles.
Yeah, that is true. 71 is Kelsey. How do you spell Eagles? So we only have 2. Dang, that's kind of sad.
Well, was AJ Brown there this year? Search AJ, or just Brown maybe.
You didn't even make the list. Damn.
Wait, just search Brown.
Brown.
Oh. Never mind.
But yeah, that took. Wait, I didn't want to spend that much time on that. I want to be honest. But Tom Brady's number 1 again, because fuck him. Aaron Rodgers 3. Cubs 4. This podcast, I'm just gonna retire, and this is my resignation. I've so many fuck ups. I have so many fuck ups this podcast,
sad.
bro.
Jonathan Taylor should not have been 5.
Good timing.
But at least he had a lot of people voting him as number 1. Goddamn, what a way to end.
I didn't like that.
It was just the end, otherwise it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we just gotta get through predictions quicker. I think that's literally it. Because we were making great time otherwise.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to be that long either, because
Oh yeah, it's gonna be we're gonna have less.
like we're not gonna have the top 100, even though that was only like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Yeah, because I said it like at the end of last podcast.
Yeah,
if you wanted to.
I remember now.
Yeah, but I just wanted